Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this look is pretty much like the epitome of like a super glammed out rock star party look. So aside from the fact that this look does have quite a few steps and a lot of products that I used, hopefully you're able to pick up on the technique more so than the actual tutorial itself and just switch out whatever products that you have, which shouldn't be too difficult because all it is just teal, a raspberry purple, and then a deep purple, a deep eggplant purple in the outer corner, and then a more shimmery purple down below. So it's pretty much just the color combo you're going for. You don't necessarily have to use all the products that I use. I was just going for a wow factor. So as long as you don't care about that and you just want to follow along with the tutorial, then keep on watching. I use the Oil Control Lotion from MAC. I then use the Makeup Forever HD Foundation all over the face and a damp Beauty Blender sponge. The trick with really getting beauty blenders to work is using them damp, and that way you get that seamless, flawless, streak-free foundation coverage, which will also prevent it from looking like everyone's dreaded word, cakey. I'm now using my Sumita eyebrow pencil in dark brown. Prep the eyelids using a primer or a concealer of choice. I'm using the MAC Studio Sculpt concealer. You can also just dab on a little bit of foundation on the lids as well for this step. Next, I'm going to use the Maybelline 24 Hour Color Tattoo. The color I'm using is Painted Purple. This is going to go straight onto our lids. And I'm going to put a little bit extra, not too much, just on the outer corner of my eye to pick up on that outer corner color we'll be using later. I'm going to be using a dark matte purple from my Sugarpill Burning Heart palette. Color I'm using is Poison Plum. I'm applying this color quite heavily just on the outer corners of my eyes by gently patting it on. And by patting the shadow on and pressing the shadow on, you get a lot less fallout versus going back and forth by sweeping. I'm going to start to blend that well into my crease so we get a really defined and dark crease with this color. So it should look kind of like a sideways triangle. Use a tapered blending brush to blend that shadow out into your crease. Once you get your purple crease color blended out, use a raspberry colored glitter. I'm using a stackable jar of glitters that I got from Hobby Lobby. Use a splash sealer or a lash glue and apply this on the center of the lids to give that glitter something to stick to, and then apply your glitter. A simple tip when applying glitter products: if you tilt your head downwards when applying the glitter, it will be more likely to fall straight to the floor versus right on your cheeks. And then that way you get less fallout. Less fallout means a lot less cleanup time later, which you want to try to avoid as much as possible because glitter is super hard to clean up. Another helpful trick you can use is your shadow shields, or use a little Scotch tape and simply press some of the glitter off. Use a fluffier blending brush now to soften out some of those crease colors so that you get a softer wash of color there. I then used a bit of Sugarpill Darling pigment and applied a bit of that on the inner corner of my eye. And then I applied a little bit of Lumi pigment on top. Now, as you can see at this point, this is pretty messy, but we're going to clean that up. I used a small amount of Vex eyeshadow by MAC in the brow bone highlight of my eye. Add a black liquid liner. I'm using Maybelline's Ultra Liner. For a thick, dramatic, drawn-out winged liner. Add mascara and lashes. I'm using the Maybelline Lash Stiletto and these fun red cherry number 138s. If you make a small mistake with the lash glue like I just did, The adhesive on the lash glue will grab hold of the glitter and it will stay put. Next, apply an under eye concealer. This is the Studio Finish by MAC in NW40, which I'm first applying with my finger. And then you can use an angled brush or a shader brush such as this one and just cut off that line at the bottom so we get a nice harsh crisp line. But don't forget to blend that out once you do that. Apply finishing powder underneath the eye. I'm using my Ben Nye banana powder. Use a fluffy blending brush to try to blend. Use a fluffy blending brush to try to brush off as much excess as you get from that finishing powder. I'm going to use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish on top. Now that we have our powder set, we need to sculpt the contours of the base. I'm going for a indefinite sculpted look. So I'm going to use the shadowy contour powder from MAC, and I'm using a contour brush to just basically apply that in the low points of my cheekbones and in the temples of my forehead. I'm applying Dusty Rose blush by NYX on my cheeks. I then applied that purple eyeshadow base we used earlier along my bottom lash line. And since I saved that step for last, I'm finally going to add some mascara on top. Make sure your lips are well moisturized and then add a brown lip liner. This is Cork by MAC. On top of that, I'm using a pale pink lipstick. This is Hippie Chic from NYX. And that is your completed rockstar freaking party makeup look.